A surprising revelation showed what was in your heart, and someone special understood your silence. Stop, right where you are. Do not move past this moment. Do not let your hand scroll past these words. There is a reason this message is reaching you at this exact second. And that reason is not coincidence. It has never been. Heaven has been carrying this title toward you, and it has finally arrived. Listen to me very carefully, my dear soul. The title of this video is not decoration. It is not a phrase designed to pull you in. It is a doorway. And what is about to walk through this doorway is something the heavens have been preparing for you to hear for longer than you have been counting days. A surprising revelation showed what was in your heart, and someone special understood your silence. Read those words again, slowly. Let each one land in the part of you that is not in a hurry. Because what is unfolding in this message is not entertainment. It is recognition. It is the moment when the truth you have been carrying in silence is finally named out loud, by a voice that was never yours to carry. And before this first minute ends, I need one promise from you. Promise me you will stay until the very last word of this message, because the part that matters most is not what I have already said, it is what is still coming. And if you leave too early, you will miss the moment the sky opens the door that has been waiting for you. Do not skip ahead. Do not skim. The next sentence is connected to the one before it, and every one of them is a thread in a fabric the heavens have been weaving since before you understood what you were feeling. Stay with me. The revelation is about to begin. There is a person, not a stranger, not a passing face in a crowd, not someone you met yesterday and not someone you have forgotten, a person whose soul is woven into the fiber of your own, a person whose breath you would recognize in any room, in any lifetime, in any version of the world. And this person, right now, in this very moment of your life, is living inside a secret that mirrors yours exactly. Outwardly, this person smiles. Outwardly, this person answers messages, keeps promises, shows up where they are supposed to show up, and performs the rituals of a normal day. Outwardly, this person looks put together. Their voice is steady, their shoulders are squared. Their laughter arrives on cue. But behind the eyes, behind the calm voice and the steady hands, there is a war. A quiet, devastating, invisible war that nobody around them knows how to see. By day, this person functions. By day, this person carries the weight of their hours without flinching, without complaining, without asking anyone to notice. But when the night comes, and the night always comes, this person lies awake staring at the ceiling, replaying moments that no one else in their life remembers. This person turns their phone face down on the table, not because they do not want to reach you, but because they do not know if they still have the right to. This person has conversations with your memory. They speak to you in the kitchen. They speak to you in the parked car. They speak to you in the shower, when the water is loud enough to cover the sound of their own voice. They tell you things they have never told anyone, and then they step out into the daylight and pretend with great artistry that none of it happened. The promise of this message is to show you what is happening behind that silence, to take you inside the unseen chambers of someone who has been watching you longer than you ever realized, and to reveal, layer by careful layer, the truth that has been hiding in plain sight between you. Stay with me. The next part will be the part that names what you have been carrying alone. You are not here by accident. And you are not here because you are bored, or because your feed was empty, or because you had nothing else to watch. You are here because something in you, something deep, something that speaks without words, has been waiting for confirmation. Confirmation that what you feel is real. Confirmation that you are not imagining the invisible thread that connects you to someone you may not have even spoken to in months. Let me tell you who you are. You are the kind of person who feels deeply and speaks quietly. You are the kind of person who loves in silence and forgives before anyone has asked for it. You are the kind of person who keeps going even when your own heart is begging you to rest. You are the kind of person who has been misunderstood so many times that you stopped trying to explain yourself. And the silence you have been building around your truest feelings is not weakness. It is the strongest thing you have ever done. Lately, you have been choosing yourself, slowly, gently, in ways that did not make headlines. You have been standing up in ways you could not stand before. You have been setting boundaries you once thought were cruel. You have been walking away from conversations that drain you. You have been saying no without apologizing. You have been protecting your mornings, your nights, your phone, your peace. And this growth, this quiet, sacred, unglamorous growth, has not gone unnoticed. Not by heaven, and not by the one person whose attention you have been trying to stop caring about. You have wondered, haven't you, whether your transformation was seen. You have lain awake wondering if the version of you that you are becoming is even on the radar of the one person whose opinion you secretly still care about. You have wondered if the boundaries you set were noticed, if the way you stopped chasing was registered, if the way you began to dress, to speak, to carry yourself differently, registered in the heart of the one person who once walked away. I want you to know, you have been watched, you have been seen, and what has been seen in you has shaken something loose in someone else, something they thought they had buried, something they thought time had taken care of. You have been quietly rewriting the story of who you are, and somewhere out there, someone has been rereading the chapters you left behind. But before I name what that something is, I need you to pause, just for one breath, one slow, deep breath. And when you come back, the door will open wider. I will be right here. Do not skip this moment. The next part is the part where the title begins to mean what it has been meaning all along. Now let me take you into the unseen world, the world of the person connected to your soul, the one without a name, without a face, without a gender, without a single verifiable detail. Just a presence, just a heart, just a quiet witness to your becoming. This person has tried. Heaven knows this person has tried. They have tried to move on. They have tried to fill the space you once occupied with distractions, with noise, with people who look like you in the dark, but do not feel like you in the light. But nothing fits, nothing settles, and every attempt to replace what you gave them only confirms what they have been trying to deny. This person has lied, to themselves mostly. They have told themselves they are over it. They have told themselves the feelings have faded. They have told themselves that time is doing its quiet work, that one morning they will wake up and you will be a name in a list of memories instead of a pulse in the chest. But time is not healing this. Time is only sharpening the outline of what is missing. Time is making your absence more specific, not less. Every season that passes does not erase you. It carves you deeper. This person has silenced themselves. More times than you will ever know, this person opened their mouth to say your name and closed it again. More times than you can count, this person typed a message, read it 3 times, adjusted one word, deleted it, retried it, and then erased it letter by letter, so there would be no evidence of the ache. They have drafted texts in the Notes app of their phone at 2 a.m. and then closed the app without sending. They have rehearsed apologies in the bathroom mirror. They have practiced how they would say hello if they ran into you in a place neither of you expected, and every rehearsal ended in silence. This person has replayed your last conversation more than once. They have searched for meaning in the smallest things you ever said. They have held onto a tone of voice, a glance, a half-smile, a sentence you probably forgot the moment after you said it. And in the quietest hours of the night, this person has asked the ceiling one question over and over again. What if I waited too long? And that question, my dear soul, is the question that is about to find its answer. But you have to stay. You have to keep listening. Because the next part is where the revelation begins to crack open, and once it does, it cannot be closed again. If you are still with me, leave a single word in the comments. Just one. I will not name it. I will let your heart name it for you. And when you do, the next layer will arrive even faster in your life. There was a moment. You will not be able to date it. You will not be able to place it on a calendar or pin it to a place. But heaven saw it. Heaven marked it. And heaven is bringing it to your attention right now because that moment is the hinge on which the next chapter of your story is about to swing. It might have been a song. An old song, the kind that comes on without warning and finds the exact corner of your heart that you thought you had locked. A song from a season you swore you had moved past. A song that did not feel like a song at all, but like a voice calling you from a room you thought had been bricked up. It might have been a place, a street, a doorway, a coffee shop you used to pass together in a different lifetime of your story, a bus stop, a bench, the view from a window you have not looked out of in months, a smell even, a smell so specific that it brought you back to a version of yourself you had been trying to outgrow. It might have been a dream. One of those dreams that feel less like dreams and more like visits from somewhere beyond the usual geography of sleep. Or it might have been a moment of total stillness. One of those seconds when the noise of the world drops away, and you hear your own heart say the name you have been refusing to speak. One of those seconds when the body goes quiet and something older, something wiser, takes the wheel. One of those seconds when you feel, without being able to explain it, that you are not alone in the room. Whatever it was, that moment broke something open in the person connected to you. That moment cracked the wall they had been building. That moment forced them finally to look at what they have been running from, and to see with a clarity they could not postpone, that the running was the wound. And what they saw, my dear soul, was you. Not the version of you they pretended to forget. Not the edited version, the one that would have been easier to release, the real you, the one who has been healing, the one who has been growing, the one who is no longer waiting by the door, but is no longer slamming it shut either. The one who has become, in the quiet of their absence, even more of who they always were. And in seeing you, this person finally saw themselves. They saw how much time they had spent pretending they did not care. They saw how much energy they had burned trying to convince themselves that what they felt was manageable. And they saw, in the reflection of your becoming, how small they had made themselves in order to protect a pride that was never worth the price. Stay with me. The next chapter is the one that will move something inside you that no longer has words. And now I need to speak to something tender, because while this person has been awakening to what you are, something else has also been moving. Time. Time does not wait. Time does not negotiate. Time does not pause for the people who are still deciding. And there is a window, a quiet, sacred, invisible window that is currently open. This person has imagined you in someone else's arms. They have felt the floor shift beneath them at the thought that the courage they postponed might have been given to someone who arrived later, but acted sooner. They have pictured a version of the future where they are not in it, where someone else gets the version of you that they refuse to earn. And the weight of that picture is heavier than they can carry in the daylight. So they are doing something now. Quietly, without announcement, without warning, they are making choices. Small ones, inner ones. Choices that you will not see until they land. They are reading things they would not have read a year ago. They are listening to songs they used to skip. They are paying attention to details about your life that they have no logical reason to remember. And each of those small choices is laying a brick on a path they are not sure they will be brave enough to walk. The door that was once closed is not closed anymore. It is not wide open either. It is, for the first time in a long time, ajar. And what is about to walk through that door is something the heavens have been holding in trust for you, something they have been polishing in the dark, something that is finally ready to be seen by your eyes. But I need you to understand this. I need you to hear this with the part of you that is awake even when the world is asleep. What is coming is not a guarantee that everything will be easy. What is coming is the beginning of a truth that will demand your courage, and you will have to decide, in your own time, with your own wisdom, what to do with it. Before the next layer is revealed, take another slow breath, because what I am about to say next is something this person has never spoken aloud, and I am about to say it out loud, for the first time, on their behalf. Layer 1. There is a confession this person has rehearsed in the mirror. They have practiced it. They have stopped and started it. They have tried softer versions and harsher versions. They have written it in journals and notebooks, and on the backs of receipts, and in the margins of books they were not actually reading. And every time they got close to saying it out loud, they chose silence. They chose silence because the words felt too small for the feeling behind them. They chose silence because they were afraid that saying it would make it real, and making it real would mean they could no longer pretend they were fine. They chose silence because, somewhere deep down, they believed that if they finally spoke the truth, the truth would undo them. The confession is not complicated, it is not dramatic, it is not the kind of confession that belongs in a movie. It is simpler than that, and therefore harder. It is something like this, although the exact words belong to them and not to me. I am sorry for the silence. I am sorry for the pride. I am sorry for the times I made you feel like a second option when you were the only thing I was thinking about. I never stopped. I just got too afraid to show it. That confession has been waiting in their chest. It has been pressing against the inside of their ribs for longer than they can remember. And the fact that you are hearing this now in this message is not a coincidence. It means the heavens are preparing a space for those words to finally be spoken out loud. Layer 2, and this one goes deeper. There is an object, a small thing, a thing so ordinary that no one else in this person's life would recognize its meaning. It might be a keychain. It might be a coin. It might be a wrapper, a ticket stub, a leaf pressed into a book, a strand of thread, a photograph that lives in the back of a drawer where no one thinks to look. Whatever it is, this person has not moved it. They have not hidden it. They have not thrown it away. They have not allowed anyone else to touch it. They have kept it where they can find it, because letting it go would mean letting go of the only physical proof they have that what they felt with you was real. Some nights, when the world is quiet enough, this person takes the object out and holds it. They do not show it to anyone, they do not explain it, they just hold it, and in the holding, they are holding you. The object is not the point. The point is the way their hand closes around the memory, the way their breath changes, the way their eyes soften into someone they have not allowed themselves to be in a long time. That object is a shrine. They would never call it that, but it is. And the fact that it still exists is the fact that proves beyond any argument that this person has not let you go. They have only been quiet about holding on. Layer 3, and here the heavens ask you to lean in. There is a conversation this person had with someone they trust, a friend, a mentor, someone who finally looked them in the eyes and said the words they could not say to themselves. What are you waiting for? And this person could not answer. Because the truth is, they are not waiting. They are afraid. And there is a difference. Waiting is patient. Fear is a kind of paralysis that wears the mask of patience. And this person has been wearing that mask for long enough that even they began to believe it. The conversation with their trusted one cracked the mask. The trusted one said things like, "You are running out of time and you are not as hidden as you think you are, and the longer you wait, the more you prove that you are not ready. And if you are not ready now, you will not be ready then, and the only way to be ready is to move." This person left that conversation quieter than they entered it, but something had shifted, something had cracked, and in the days that followed, they began, in small and almost invisible ways, to prepare themselves for the possibility of showing up. They did not have a plan, they did not have a speech, they only had a new permission slipping quietly into their chest that said, "You are allowed to try." Layer 4. There is a prayer, a private one. A prayer whispered into a pillow, into a parked car, into the empty space above a kitchen sink at 2 a.m. A prayer that does not use formal words because this person does not have a formal faith. They have only a longing, and the longing has been the most honest form of worship they have ever known. This prayer is not, "Please bring them back to me." This prayer is, "Please give me the courage to show up as the person they deserve. Please give me the words. Please give me the timing. Please remove the pride that has been standing between me and the only truth I cannot seem to live out loud." This person has asked the universe, quietly, in their own way, for one more chance. Not a guarantee, not a date, not a script. Just one more honest beginning. Just one moment where they can stand in front of you without their armor on and let you see the soft, terrified, devoted thing that has been hiding underneath all this time. That prayer has been heard. The heavens do not forget prayers that are prayed with the whole chest, and what is about to happen in your life is the slow, gentle answer to that prayer, not the way this person imagined, but the way the universe always answers, which is more accurately than we expect and less predictably than we hoped. Layer 5 Yinma, and this is the deepest one. This is the chamber at the bottom of the well. This is the thing that even this person has not fully admitted to themselves yet. This person has made a decision, quietly, without telling anyone, without even writing it down. They have decided that if they are ever given the chance to stand in front of you again, they will not perform, they will not pretend. They will not protect their pride at the cost of their truth. They will not try to be impressive. They will stand there with whatever is left of their courage, and they will let you see them, the whole of them, the frightened, devoted, honest, imperfect, still feeling them. That decision has already been made, and the universe has already begun to make a path for it. The path does not look the way either of you would have drawn it. It looks stranger. It looks slower. It looks like coincidences that are not coincidences, like songs that arrive exactly when they are needed, like run-ins that feel staged but are not. The universe is staging the moment, and you are closer to that moment than you realize. But the next part is where I need to step back, because I am not here to push you. I am here to protect what is becoming of you. Listen to me, my dear soul, and listen carefully. Nothing I have said in this message is a command for you to run. Nothing I have said is an invitation for you to abandon your peace, your boundaries, or the sacred work you have been doing on yourself. If anything, this message is a request that you hold your own heart even more gently than you have been holding it. If this person shows up, you do not owe them access to the version of you that has spent the last season rebuilding. You do not owe them your healing. You do not owe them forgiveness on their timeline. You do not owe them the person you were before you learned how to love yourself. The person you are becoming is not a reward. It is a result. And no one is automatically entitled to the result of your pain. Love is not just a feeling. Love is action. Love is consistent. Love is verifiable. And if a person wants to be in your life, they must prove it with the kind of presence that does not need to be explained away. Words without evidence are just noise. And you, my dear soul, have had enough noise. You have had enough pretty sentences and shallow promises and last-minute appearances. You have earned the right to require more. You are allowed to wait and watch. You are allowed to let someone earn their way back. You are allowed to be cautious, to be slow, to be soft with yourself, even if the other person is in a hurry. Your peace is not a price you pay for someone else's growth. Your peace is the foundation of everything you are building, and it is not negotiable. This is the part of the message where the channel is protecting you, not pushing you. Take it in. Let it settle. Whatever you decide to do with what you have heard is yours to decide, and no script in the world has the right to make that decision for you. In the days that follow this message, you may notice things. Small things. Things that could be coincidence, and I want you to hold them gently without forcing them into meaning. Just notice. Just observe. Just be a witness to your own life for a moment, instead of trying to interpret it. You may feel a sudden wave of emotion for no reason, a tightness in your chest, a warmth behind your eyes, at a moment when nothing visible has happened. You may hear your own name in a crowded room, only to turn and find no one calling. You may dream in a way that feels more like memory than imagination, a dream that returns to a place you have not visited in years, with a person who has not crossed your mind in months, and yet everything in the dream feels more real than your morning coffee. You may see something, a color, a number, a phrase, a song, appear in your life more than once, in places that do not logically connect. You may get a notification at an unusual hour. You may hear a song you have not heard in years, on a radio station you never listened to, at a volume that makes it impossible to ignore. You may suddenly remember a moment you had forgotten with a clarity that surprises you. You may feel watched in a way that is not uncomfortable. You may feel, for the first time in a long time, that something is shifting in a direction you did not expect. These are not instructions. These are not guarantees. These are simply seeds. And the only thing I'm asking you to do is observe your own heart. That is all. Just observe. Do not force meaning. Do not chase signs. Do not call it a sign unless your heart has already named it that. The universe is gentle with the people who are paying attention, and it is even gentler with the people who are honest about what they see. And now we come to the part I have been walking you toward. The part the title has been promising since the first second of this message. The part that heaven has been holding in trust for this exact moment. A surprising revelation showed what was in your heart, and someone special understood your silence. I'm about to say what that revelation was. I'm about to say who that person is, what they are carrying, what they are about to do, what they have finally understood about the silence you have been living inside. I am about to open the door all the way. I am about to let the light fall on the thing that has been hiding in the corner of this story, waiting to be named. And then, just as I am about to speak the name, just as I am about to name the moment, just as the revelation is one breath away from being complete, something interrupts, because the heavens have just shown me something I did not expect to see. There is a third witness, not you, not the other person, a third presence, a witness who has been watching this entire story from a place even the angels do not speak of, a witness who has been carrying a piece of this story that neither you nor the other person knows about, and this witness has just stepped forward, slowly, into the place where you and I have been standing. And the look on the face of this witness is not what I expected. What this witness is about to reveal changes everything I was about to tell you. It reframes the silence. It reorders the revelation. It places the entire story inside a context that neither of you were aware of. And if I tried to name it now, the meaning would collapse under the weight of too much, too fast. So I am going to do something I have never done before. I'm going to stop. Not because the message is finished, not because you have heard enough, but because the next part must arrive in its own time, in its own way, through a sign that only you will recognize when it shows up. And if I name it here in this video, the sign will not have the space it needs to land. Stay close, watch, listen. And do not be surprised when, in the next few days, something happens that you cannot explain with logic. Do not be surprised when a door you have been guarding finally opens from the other side. Do not be surprised when the silence you have been living in is finally gently answered. Because it already has. The revelation is already in motion. The witness is already in position, and the door is already quietly swinging open. You are not the same person you were at the beginning of this message, and by the time this story finishes unfolding in your life, you will not be the same person you are tonight. Stay awake, stay soft, stay close to the part of you that knows the difference between coincidence and design. And when the sign arrives, and it will arrive, you will know. Not because someone told you. Because the part of you that has been waiting will finally recognize what has come to meet it. The heavens are not finished with you, they have only just begun. Continua. Digite continuar, se desejar mais camadas. Vou continuar agora mesmo, conforme as instruções, para garantir que ultrapassamos os 40.000 caracteres com folga. A partir daqui, o roteiro continua a expandir as revelações, com novas camadas internas, espelhamentos, monólogos estendidos, metáforas profundas e flashbacks vistos pelo céu, mantendo a voz espiritual, a retenção e o cliffhanger final. There is a scene the heavens keep returning to. It is from a season of your life that you have tried to file away in the back of a drawer. A season that, on the surface, looked ordinary. Maybe it was a winter. Maybe it was a summer that felt longer than it should have. Maybe it was the kind of in-between weather that the calendar does not have a name for. And in that season, there was a moment. A small moment. The kind of moment that would not register in any photo album, that no one else would remember. That you yourself only half remembered until this very message brought it back. In that moment, you said something. You probably do not even remember what you said. It was probably not a grand declaration. It was probably a sentence so ordinary that you let it leave your mouth without thinking. You were tired, or distracted, or simply being yourself in the unguarded way that only happens when you forget to perform. And the person connected to your soul heard it. They did not respond. They did not make it a big deal. They simply received it, the way the earth receives a quiet rain. Without announcement, without ceremony, without ever forgetting, the heavens have been holding that moment up like a lantern. And the reason is this. That moment was the moment this person first understood that you were not like the others. That was the moment they realized that the way you spoke carried a different weight. That was the moment they began, without knowing it, to listen to you the way one listens to music they would never get tired of. And from that moment on, every other sound in their life had to compete with the echo of your voice in that one ordinary sentence. You do not remember saying it, They have never told you they heard it, but the heavens remember. And the heavens are using this moment right now to let you know that you have been making a mark on someone's heart for far longer than you ever realized. The silence you have been wondering about, the silence of the other person, the silence you have been trying to decode, began in part because of a moment like this, a moment so small that you forgot it, and so large that it changed the direction of someone's life. Stay with me. The next layer is even closer to the bone, and now I want to take you into a moment that the other person has replayed 1,000 times. A moment that happened, perhaps, in a parked car, or in a kitchen, or in the kind of late evening when the world gets very honest. A moment when they almost said it. Almost they got as far as the first syllable. They opened their mouth and the word began to form. And then, as if a switch had been thrown, they swallowed the word back down, smiled, said something else, and ended the conversation in a way that felt normal to everyone in the room except the two of you. That was the moment they have never recovered from. Because they know, and you know, that the word they almost said was the truest thing they have ever felt. And they also know that the moment they chose to swallow, it was the moment the door between you began, slowly, to close. Not because of anything you did, because of something they could not do. And in the years that have followed, every other conversation they have had with you, and with anyone, has been haunted by the ghost of that almost. This is the part of the story that nobody talks about. The almost. The sentences that died in the throat, the confessions that arrived as jokes, the declarations that came out sideways, disguised as observations about the weather. The almost is the most human thing in the world, and also the most heartbreaking. Because the almost is the place where love and fear shake hands and decide, for one terrible moment, that fear wins. And the heavens want you to know that the almost is about to become a finally. Not because the universe is forcing anything, because the same person who once swallowed the truth has finally gotten tired of the taste of it. The same person who once chose silence has finally begun to suspect that the silence was the thing that was killing them. But before I say what that finally is going to look like, I need you to pause this message. Not because we are done. Because the next part is going to land differently if you give it a moment. Take a sip of water, take a breath, look at the ceiling for 3 seconds. And when you come back, the next part will find you more open than you are right now. There is something the other person has done that you do not know about. Something quiet. Something that took more courage than they have ever admitted to themselves. They asked someone about you, not directly, not in a way that would raise suspicion. They asked around the edges. They asked in the kind of question that sounds like small talk, but is actually a search party. How is so-and-so these days? Do you still hear from them? Are they well? Are they happy? Have they changed? And the answers they received have been doing something inside them that they did not expect. The answers have been painting a picture of you that matches the person you have been becoming, not the person you used to be. And every answer has made the wall around their heart a little thinner. Every answer has made the decision they have been postponing a little more urgent. Every answer has made them realize with a quiet and terrible clarity that the version of you that exists today is the version they were always supposed to meet, and that they almost missed it. The heavens saw this. The heavens are not surprised. The heavens have been preparing both of you separately for the moment when the distance between who you were and who you are becoming finally becomes small enough for the truth to cross it. And we are close to that moment. Closer than you think. But there is one more layer, and this one is the one that the title has been saving for the end. A surprising revelation showed what was in your heart. Someone special understood your silence. And here is the revelation, in the part the heavens have been waiting to speak. The revelation is not that someone is thinking about you. The heavens do not need a script to tell you that. The revelation is not that someone is going to come back. The heavens do not promise comings. The revelation is this: the thing that was in your heart, the thing you thought no one could see, the thing you buried under silence and patience and self-protection, was not a secret. Not to the one person you were hoping would notice. It was visible. It was always visible. It was visible in the way you said good morning. It was visible in the way you said goodbye. It was visible in the silence between your sentences. It was visible in the way you pulled back when you wanted to lean in. It was visible in the way you chose yourself and hoped secretly that the choosing would be witnessed. You have been thinking, haven't you, that the things you feel are too quiet to be read. You have been telling yourself that your silence protects you and that no one could possibly know the depth of what you carry. You have been telling yourself that you are invisible in the way you love. And the revelation, the surprising, gentle, devastating revelation, is that you have been seen, fully, clearly, by the one person whose seeing you were afraid to even hope for, and that person understood your silence, not as a wall, not as a rejection, as a language, as the way you speak when words are not enough, as the way you protect the things that matter most, as the way you say without ever opening your mouth, "Please come closer, and please be careful with me when you do." That is the revelation, that your silence has been heard, that your quiet has been recognized, that the person you were afraid was not paying attention has been paying a kind of attention that you will not fully understand until they are standing in front of you again. And now we are at the part where the title has been pointing us. The part I am about to name, the part that I am about to interrupt on purpose, because the interruption is part of the message. I'm about to say what the other person is going to do. I'm about to say when. I'm about to say how. I'm about to give you the sign you have been waiting for, the one that will arrive in your life like a key sliding into a lock. I'm about to say it now. The other person is going to... And then, just as the words begin to form, the heavens pull me back. Because the other person is, in this very moment, doing something I was not expecting. They are not where I thought they were. They are not doing what I thought they were doing. They are not on the path I saw a moment ago. They have changed direction, and the direction they have changed toward is the one direction I cannot name in this message, because the moment I name it, the surprise that the heavens have been holding for you will lose its impact. The surprise is the point. The surprise is the revelation. The surprise is the way the universe answers prayers that were never meant to be predictable. So I will not say what the other person is doing. I will not say when, I will not say how, I will only say this. The silence is over. The silence has been over for longer than you know. And what is about to enter your life is something you will recognize in your chest before you recognize it with your eyes. The moment will feel familiar. The moment will feel like coming home. The moment will feel, in a way you will not be able to explain, like a sentence that was started in another life and is only now being finished. Stay awake. Stay soft. Stay close to the part of you that knows. The sign is closer than your next heartbeat. And the door is already open. Se você chegou até aqui, digite "Eu recebo" nos comentários. E fique atento. O próximo sinal que você receber não é coincidência. É a primeira resposta a esta mensagem. E ela já está a caminho. Thought 3 times. Ran 3 commands. There is one more thing the heavens want you to understand before this message closes. And it is this. You have been carrying in the quiet of your own chest a question that you have not been able to speak out loud. The question is not whether this person still exists. The question is not whether they are thinking of you. The question is something deeper and something more tender, and something that you have not been able to admit even to yourself. The question is this: is what I feel worthy of what is coming? And the answer, my dear soul, is the part of the revelation that I have been saving for the very last breath of this message. The answer is yes. Not because you are perfect, not because you have never made a mistake, not because you have answered every question of your own heart correctly. Yes, because you have been willing to feel it all. Yes, because you have been willing to wait. Yes, because you have been willing to grow in a direction that cost you comfort. Yes, because you have been willing to let the silence be a teacher, even when the silence was unbearable. The things you feel are not too much. They are exactly enough, and the universe has never, not for 1 second, considered you unworthy of the thing your heart has been asking for. Take that in. Let it settle in the part of you that has been wondering. Let it become the ground you stand on in the days that follow, because the moment that is coming will require you to stand somewhere solid, and this is the solid. You are worthy. The feeling is worthy. The waiting is worthy. And the door, my dear soul, is not just open. It is waiting for you to walk through it without apologizing for who you have become. Close your eyes for 1 moment. Not because the message is over, because the message is just beginning to arrive in your life. And when you open them, watch the next 24 hours as if the universe were speaking directly to you, because it is. And the first thing it says, the first sign it sends, will be the one that confirms everything you have just heard. I will be here. Heaven will be here. And the person whose silence has been broken will be here, sooner than you think, in a way you cannot yet imagine, but will in a single moment, instantly recognize. Go gently. Go bravely. Go in the direction of the door that is already open. The heavens have not finished with you. They are only now, finally, beginning. And there is one final image the heavens want to leave you with before this message closes. Picture, if you can, a table set for two. Not in a restaurant, not in a place anyone would recognize. Just a table, somewhere quiet, with two chairs facing each other and the softest kind of light falling across the surface. One of the chairs is empty, the other has just been sat in, and the person sitting there is not looking at the door, they are looking at the empty chair. They are looking at it the way you look at something you have been missing for so long that you almost forgot what it looked like in front of you. That image is not a metaphor. That image is a moment that has already been written into the timeline of your life. And it is closer than you think. It is closer than the next full moon. It is closer than the next season change. It is closer than the next time you wonder whether you should give up hoping. That table is being prepared. The chair is being warmed. The light is being lit. And the only person who is missing from the scene is the one who is reading these words right now. You are not behind the door. You are not waiting outside. You are not a guest who needs an invitation. You are the person the table has been set for, since before you started wondering if it would ever happen. When the moment arrives, you will not need to knock. You will not need to explain yourself. You will not need to perform. You will simply sit down, and the person across from you will look at you with the only expression that has ever been true. The expression that says, "You are exactly who I have been waiting for. And I am sorry it took me this long to find my way back to your table." That moment is yours, it has always been yours, and it is now, finally, irrevocably on its way. So do not be afraid of what is coming. Do not be afraid of how it will arrive. Do not be afraid of the courage it will ask of you. The heavens have been preparing this table for a long time, and you, my dear soul, have been worth every minute of the wait. Go in peace. Go in power. Go in the quiet certainty that the next chapter of your story has already quietly begun.